I know my hair looks like ass right now. They call me probably Ray. Ludwig, a famous streamer. You've 100% heard of him before. I think he has like 7 million subscribers on YouTube, and he had that long ass subathon that started the whole subathon idea and gave all these big ass streamers the idea of, oh, what if I just stream every day until I just like slowly going insane just for money. He's been hit with something recently, and you know, it's kind of sad, and it's kind of a loss for the whole streaming community in general. If you didn't know, Ludwig has two companies. He has Mogul Moves, and then he has Offbrand. Now, Offbrand is a big ass company that works for production of these streams and these shows and all the cool shows that you've seen on Twitch or YouTube, like the Streamer Awards or Ludwig's different type of shows, like Mogul Money Live, I think it was called. All these different shows that, you know, Doug had and Germa had and the Unpaid Intern and...
All right, thank you very much for coming in. Let's do this. You've missed the last 30 days of work. You've been caught sleeping on the job, and Stan's caught you licking your own vagina in the kitchen.
Is this serious?
All these cool ass shows that you know from your favorite streamers' live streams have usually been brought to you by Offbrand. And they also have a game sector called Offbrand Games, which made Rivals of Aether. Really good game. Rivals of Aether 2. You should really play it. It's getting shut down for financial reasons. Recently, Ludwig came out in a video and said, hey, everybody, we're shutting down Offbrand because of financial reasons and other reasons.
But the real issue was the business model. Now, the business model wasn't working, wasn't making money. And the main difference, if you have like a traditional S corporation as opposed to a worker co-op, is it's easier to get outside investment.
And when you really look into like the past of Offbrand and what the fuck was really happening behind the scenes, it's not that surprising. It's of course sad, but it's not that surprising that this whole company is slowly collapsing, except the game sector. The game sector is still doing great as fuck because, you know, they made Rivals of Aether and they're not closing down. The Rivals of Aether 2, they made that shit. They're not going anywhere. But the production part is going away. The famous production company known for making Streamer Awards and Mogul Money Live is shutting down because of, you know, financial reasons, tax reasons, all that. It actually came out in a stream after Ludwig actually revealed that, you know, he had not been paid $3 million in total for a few years. They had been holding back a lot of the money that he was supposed to be paid.
I think a month or two ago, maybe 2 months ago, that my sponsorship money has not been paid out to me in a couple of years.
But that's not only Offbrand's fault. There was another thing that just was in between him, Offbrand, the money, and the sponsor. The sponsor had paid out all the money and it was supposed to go to Offbrand, but there was something holding that money back from Offbrand, and in turn didn't get Offbrand that money so it could pay out people who deserve that money. And also the sponsor money that Ludwig was supposed to get, all the money that he was supposed to get through Offbrand, did not get given to him, just also to like pump the numbers of Offbrand and make it look bigger and make it look more enticing, like the numbers of it.
And it was basically being used as float to make Offbrand's numbers look better than they were.
Of course, anytime there's one of these events, they get paid by hundreds of sponsors. I mean, I think Ludwig's own sponsor, Red Bull, pays him like hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just to be the poster boy of the streaming world for Red Bull. Him and Ninja.
Matt Side is just Tyler. My cousin's asking for haircut recommendations. Do I have any? I do.
Those two guys, they're really with Red Bull. But also recently with Streamer Awards, it was sponsored by Xbox, Fortnite, maybe also Red Bull, I don't know. In past years, it's been sponsored by Fansly, and that's caused a controversy, and it's always with sponsors. These events are always with sponsors, and it's always interconnected with sponsors because, you know, money's money. Don't matter where it comes from, it's money. But they did have a lot of issues, even though they had that many sponsors. Now, from what I've heard and from what I've read, it wasn't any like business affairs. There wasn't any like tension between anybody in the company. It was literally only because of financial reasons. Now, there was a few people who offered to lower their pay so, you know, the whole company could actually survive. For example, Pirate Games, you might have heard of him. Popular guy, the guy who streams for like billions of years. I stole that joke directly from Pyrocynical, by the way, just so you know. He offered to get paid minimum wage just so everything could work out. Now, of course, one person getting minimum wage is not gonna make everything work out unless he gets like millions of dollars a year. But of course, it was still a nice gesture. Like, hey, y'all don't gotta pay me that much. Y'all good. Now, of course, it's gonna be a really big loss for these big ass streamers who want to do these events. Ludwig recently revealed that, they're still gonna try to do events. There might be a Streamer Games 2025, which could be cool. I didn't watch the first one, so I can't really say if that was good or not, but it's not sure. Now, Ludwig still has his main company, Mogul Moves, and that's a huge company that ensures that he gets paid, the people that work for him gets paid, and they ensure merch, the podcast, the everything is under Mogul Moves. I think even like Offbrand was interconnected with Mogul Moves, so he still has that company that can like help him financially if he needs to do any of these like different events live in the future. But the one sector that he had, like the one company that he had originally for these experiences and these shows, is gone now. And it was really sad. Some people were saying that the reason why Offbrand got shut down was because there was a co-op between people, and that just doesn't work between in companies, and that's fully wrong because Offbrand Games is still there and it's still co-op, so they're just fully wrong.
Now, the first thing I see a lot of people talk about is somehow connecting this to the structure of the company and it being a co-op. The most annoying people in the world are going to blame this on Ludwig turning Offbrand into a workers co-op. I've seen a lot more people worried about these type of people than those type of people actually existing. I mean, simply put, this is almost completely irrelevant to the structure of the business. The structure of the business, in fact, is also still in place, right? Offbrand Games is still a co-op, and it would only ever change if all the employees wanted to change that. But the real issue was the business model.
But they're not wrong with the business side of things. Like, the business was kind of failing. It was slowly failing because of financial reasons and holding back payments. And it doesn't really happen when it comes to sponsors. It doesn't really happen. I personally haven't been sponsored, but I know how sponsors work. I've talked to people who've been sponsored before. I know how the system works. And usually it takes a little bit to like get paid. A few months, usually maybe. He didn't get paid out for 3 fucking years.
I think a month or two ago, maybe 2 months ago, that my sponsorship money has not been paid out to me in a couple of years.
So I don't know, 3 fucking years not getting paid is pretty crazy. And it's not like fucking Offbrand was like fully dumb and they didn't know what was happening. They had really smart people working behind them. They had like smart ass individuals that knew what they were doing at all times to help. They were just holding back the money because somebody in the company or somebody out there was like taking the fucking money from sponsors sometimes. I don't know if it was all the time. Was like holding back the money from the sponsors that sponsors had sent and not giving it to Offbrand. It's a weird ass story and it's really sad. You can say whatever you want about Ludwig and I hate him and he's so annoying and all that stuff and goddamn he pisses me off and why the fuck is he still alive and but in reality it's not only about Ludwig. It's about multiple workers who got laid off because companies closing down, and a big part of the streaming community may be getting lost forever. Of course we're still gonna have Mafia fans because Kaisenat will never let go of that, I'm sure, but these like high production shows might get lost in time because we just lost one of the biggest players in the game when it comes to these productions of these shows and events. But yeah, now that's really what the situation is about Offbrand. Ludwig's production company is officially closed down, and also Ludwig's contract with YouTube has ended, so we don't know where the fuck Ludwig is gonna go next. Yeah, that's all that happened. I think I'm blabbering a little too much now. See ya.